everyone, it's Mrs. Davis, and you have landed here at the happy place to grow. And you know what day it is in our session with short I, and the rhyming families in, ix, and ick. It's spelling day. How well can you spell? You know, it's great when we can read words quickly and effectively. That's the mission of our videos and our time together, is to be able to spot words, be able to identify sounds, patterns, letters quickly, and read them. And the more you read them, the quicker and more rapid you can read, just because you recognize the words. It's not about reading fast, but it is about reading effectively, because when you know words, the reading flows so much better. The last thing I like to practice is the spell check part, because spelling and reading, well, they are connected. And if you can spell the word and think about the letters and sounds that go together, it kind of imprints the word in your brain. It's just one more tool that we can use to help us be effective readers and spellers. So, you know what we normally do together. We have to get a paper and create a grid, which I have done. I just took a simple piece of paper. You can use any kind at your house. I folded this one in half. I'm trying to figure out the best and easiest way to kind of get a grid. And then once I folded it in half, I took this side and folded that side in half, because I'm gonna need 4 columns for my spelling. And then I took the other side and did the same. That made those 4 columns really easy. And then I went ahead and made a little tiny fold up at the top for the headers, because we're going to line the top with the spelling patterns that we're sorting. So I went ahead and did this. I like to fold it because when I go ahead and draw my grid lines in there, I can see where they're going. And then after that, I'm just gonna fold it down. I need 5 boxes, so I'm gonna at least fold 4 times. So 1 fold, 2, 3, 4. If I get more than boxes than I need, it's fine. Let's see how that came out. And you know, you don't even have to do this. You can just draw your lines, or just get some spirally notebook paper that already has lines and draw some lines. I think it's kind of fun to create the grid paper. All right, you're going to need a pencil for this activity and setting up your grid spelling sheet. Now, my job is going to be calling out the words for this great spell check time. I'm going to call out the words, and they're going to fall into these categories: in, ix, and ick. And then in our last session, we were working on a few words that we called the mystery column, because they didn't fall into these rhyming families. Several of them we could sound out. There were only 2 that were common words, especially one that we couldn't sound out. You'll do great though. I have no fears. You are using your skills, and you are spellers and readers. Okay, here we go. I will call out the word. I'm not going to show you the word until we're finished with our spell check, and then we'll go through and you can check your spelling. So the first part is listen carefully to the beginning, middle, and end. Spell, and you want your letters to be written neatly and in the right direction. That's important. And the first time you hear a word in the in family, just write it here. First time you hear ix, be careful with ix and ick. And you just use your boxes. And every time you hear a word in that rhyming family, just go down the ladder. But we won't give you all the in words first and all the ix words, because that would be too easy, and we want to challenge our brain. Here we go. When. The first word is when. My brother wants to win his baseball game. Win. Win. Okay? Word two. And hopefully you put that in the correct grid. Did you write neatly? Okay. Next word is mix. Mix. I had to mix the batter for the birthday cake. Mix. Mix. Third word. This is a fun one. Kick. Kick. It is fun to kick a soccer ball down the field. Kick. Good. Next word. Likes. The girl likes to go shopping. Likes. Try that one. You might need work on that one, but it's okay. Give it your best shot. Next word. Fin. Fin. The dolphin fin was rising in the water. Fin. Next word. Six. Six. The little girl will turn 6 next Tuesday. 6. Did you get that one? 6. And remember, some of the words are built with 4 or 5 letters, even though they only have 3 sounds. So put that knowledge of our teams together. Next word, lick. Lick. It is fun to lick a delicious cone of ice cream. Lick. Next word, this. This. This Sunday, I will go to the park. This. Did you get it? Be careful. That one has 3 sounds, but how many letters? Okay, next word. Pin. Pin. Some people like to play the game Pin the Tail on the Donkey. That's an old birthday party game. Have you ever played Pin the Tail on the Donkey? Well, hopefully you can spell pin. Next word, fix. Fix. My tire on my bike was broken, so Mom said she would fix it. Fix. I hope Dad will fix dinner soon. Fix. Next word. Pick. Pick. We're going to go and pick a new pet at the pet store. We're going to pick out a new pet. That's fun. Pick. Next word. This one might be a little tricky, but think about it. It's the word to. I want to go to the park and play soccer. To. Not the number word to. Okay? Okay? You can do it. But if it's one that you don't spell correctly, it's okay. You can practice it some more. Next word, sick. Sick. I don't like being sick. Do you? Sick. Here we go. With. I will go with my mom to the grocery store. With. You got it? Okay. This is a good one. Be careful with it. It's got a lot of letters, but a few sounds. Thick. Thick. I went to McDonald's to get a thick vanilla milkshake. Thick. 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 I'm giving you a little more time because that's got a lot of letters. Only 3 sounds. Okay, here we go. Thin. Thin. The opposite of thick is thin. Thin. And then our final word in this spelling session, big. Big. I am growing and I am getting big. The opposite of little is big. Don't spell dig. Make sure your beginning sound is in the right direction. Take a few extra seconds to make sure it's facing in the right direction, or you'll be spelling the word dig. All right, spellers. How do you think you did? Well, if you tried your best, then thumbs up for sure. Remember, practice is about just tuning up our brains, and sometimes we need multiple practices. And you know, when you practice and do a spell check, it gives you information about what you still need to work on and what you don't need to work on. So it's really helpful. All right, let's actually check and see how we did. I am going to put the words up here, so I will take that down. I'm going to put the words up as I call them out. Check on your sheet, and remember how we've done this in the past. You look at the spelling. If everything is in the right direction, it's spelled correctly, then you are going to just put a check mark. If you need to fix it, you can circle the word, and then you can come back later and give it its fix. For instance, if you have a letter in the wrong direction, or you put the wrong letters or letter. Okay, here we go. Let's do our check session. Okay, the first word that we spelled was the word win, like you're going to win a contest. That goes in the in family. It was spelled W-I-N, win. So check it or circle it, win. The next word that we called out was mix. Don't mix up ix and ick. M-I-X was the word mix. How you doing? So far, so good? Our next word was the word kick. And look at lowercase k. This section of it lines up with the lowercase I and the lowercase c. That's the difference between lowercase and uppercase. If it were uppercase, it would be way up there. So remember, writing your letters in the right direction and the right size is important. Win, mix, and kick. This one might have been a tough one. You might need more practice on the word likes, because that's not a pattern we're studying yet. It's a word we might see in books that we're reading. So we just want to be familiar with it. Likes. She likes to ride her bike every day. And that was going in the mystery. How'd you do on that one? If you need more practice, it's okay. We're just learning. It's fine. Next word was fin. I'd rather see a dolphin fin than a shark fin. How about you? And that goes here. F-I-N, fin. Okay. And then our next word in the spell check was six. S-I-X. And that goes here with mix, because if we put I-C-K, that would be the word sick. And then we had the word lick. And we had compared lick and like, remember? There's just a few differences, but they make all the difference because they make a new word. So it's important to be thinking about letters, sounds, and spelling so you're not writing the word lick when you need to write the word like. And that's what our session is all about. We don't have to be afraid of spelling or intimidated by words. We can learn the tricks, we can learn the patterns, and we can be experts. The next word was this, T-H, yes, this. So when you're spelling it, you only hear one sound. But when you spell it and write it, you have to write the T and the H. So that's important, and that's the difference between hearing those sounds and saying the sounds and the spelling. That's why this practice is really helpful. And that was one of our mystery words, because even though it has a short I, it doesn't have a rhyming family to go in. And then we had the word pin, P-I-N, pin. We used the sentence, pin the tail on the donkey. Pin, win, and fin rhyme, so it goes here. Okay, next word was fix. Remember, you're writing your words in the grid, and then you've already written them in, so you're going to be checking them. If you need to make corrections, circle the word, go back and fix it, and if everything's okay with the word, just put a check mark. A check mark is just a simple little, it's like the letter V, but it extends. Fix was our next word, F-I-X. So it's like you're writing a V, but then you go way up. The next word was pick. Pick, kick, and lick rhyme, so we're putting that there, right? And then we had the word to, T-O. This was one of our mystery or sight words, common words that we see a lot. That's going there, T-O. Circle it if you need to fix it. Check it if it's good. And then we had sick, S-I-C-K, sick. And that one here. How are you doing so far? How's the spelling? Are the letters neatly written? Are they in the right direction? Did you work your hardest and best? I know you did. Next word was with. What if? Remember on this, with the spelling, it has 4 letters in the spelling. 3 sounds, 4 letters. So when you're spelling it, you have to add the TH partnership there at the end. And that was another sight word or a mystery word. It's actually a word that we can sound out. That's helpful. Okay, and then we had thick. This one has 5 letters, so when you're spelling it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you're reading it, you only hear 3 sounds. Ick. But because we know about this partnership and this partnership, we can spell it correctly. See, knowing these little tips and tricks can help you read and spell effectively. Thick. Thick goes down here with the ick family. Okay. Just a few more. And then we had the word thin, which is the opposite of thick. Thin. Again, 3 sounds, but 4 letters. So spelling is a little bit tricky unless you know the tricks. Okay. Then our final word in this spell check session is the word big, which does have a short I, yeah. And there is an ig rhyming family, but not in this collection. Did you shape your lowercase b in this direction? If you didn't and you made a D, fix it, because then you've spelled the word dig, not big. And that is important. Getting the letters in the right direction is important in communicating in written form. So we want to practice that. B-I-G, big. And that goes in that mystery column. Well, spellers, how'd you do on spell check? I know you did your very best. How many of you out there got all of the words spelled correctly? If you did, pat yourself on the back. Good job. How many of you got most of the words spelled correctly? Maybe you had a little struggle here. Is that okay? Absolutely. Give yourself a pat on the back because you worked your hardest and your best. How many of you got all your letters in the right direction? Good job. How many of you had a few fixes? That's okay too. We're recognizing that we do need to do that, and we're making those changes when we participate in the spell check. All right, spellers, how well did you spell? I know you did your best. All right, that's a wrap. I think we have worked really hard. Now I want you to join me on our final In Ix and Ix session. We're going to be putting our reading skills to the challenge. We're going to have a story that contains some of these words, and we're going to read thinking about patterns and letter sounds. We're going to be reading a short story, very short, and our final activity is going to be a quick listen and write the sound. I'm going to give you a quiz, not on spelling, but on letter sounds. We're going to see how sharp you are on hearing the sound and writing the correct letter match. So join me on our final In, Ix, and Ick session to sharpen up our skills. We're going to put these words into a cute little story, and then we're going to close up with a quick sound. Write the sound that you hear. Okay, readers and spellers, until our next time together, as always, keep practicing, keep reading, and hey, have fun while you do these things, because you know you're improving and you're getting better, and that makes things a lot easier. All right, until our next time together, I'll see you real soon.